I formation in the background. And it's a give to the fullback, and he breaks it up about a good 8 yards on the play. So once again, the Texas Rampage line just blowing the Falcons line away from the ball. Second and 1, so it's actually a gain of 9 on the play. So McDade underneath center, I'm going to say he's going to throw the ball here just for a free play on his 2nd and 1. But it's not, it's a give. Around the end to Ed Canty. Big old Ed Canty shows some speed as he breaks around the end for the first down, and they will have the ball. They're spotting it on the 32-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 on the 32. There's a big shot of how big Ed Canty is, but the guy has still got speed on him, and have a size like that and a build like that and to still have speed, that is a great athlete right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Brian, that's something I don't think that we mentioned earlier. Talked about how big he is, and we saw him, ramble in for, a 1-yard touchdown run earlier in this game, but he does have the wheels, and that is a big asset, especially on a big man.
So McDade going back under center again on a 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Going back to pass, lets it go, and it is a complete pass at the 15-yard line to Jason Reed, who we saw earlier on the sideline throwing the ball. Brings up another 1st down. So McDade has incredible numbers as he is now 4 for 5 on the night. It just seems like he's a lot more relaxed tonight, being that it is an exhibition game. Jason Reed and Mike McDade are just having fun out there. The entire Rampage squad is just having a blast out there tonight. So 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. I formation, McDade under center. Going back to pass once again. Great catch. Great catch by Ivory Lee Brown. I'm sorry, that's John Coonsey of the Rampage, the tight end. Had an incredible catch there. So now the Rampage are going to go, it's going to be 2nd and I guess 1 or 2 on the 3-yard line.
Yeah, pretty much everybody getting a chance now for the Texas Rampage.
These are some names we haven't called before. As I kind of getting a little slow on calling these names because we're having to look on the roster to see these numbers because we're not familiar with them. So they call it a 1st down. So it's going to be 1st and 3, 1st and goal actually. So Rampage set up shop. So here the Rampage go trying to make it 62-0. 62-3, I'm sorry. McDade under center. Split set. And they call it a touchdown. Big Carl Davis. Ed Canty knows. Ed Canty that time. That's who you want to put in on a 1st and goal on the 3-yard line. Big old Ed Canty just carries, and he can carry an entire team into the goal, across the goal line with him. Another shot of him. Having a big game tonight. Of course, everybody from the Rampage is having a big game tonight.
Yeah, Ed Canty is number 3, and Carl Davis is number 4. And their names are right next to one another on our roster, being 3 and 4. And that is about the only way that you can confuse those two. So if you're, as I'm sure you will attest, Brian.
So the extra point is good, and Cipriano continues to be perfect on the night for his extra point kicks. So Mesquite Falcons are going to try to drive one more time down the field after the Rampage kick this ball off and see if they can get maybe 7 on the board this time instead of 3.
4:42 left here in the third quarter. 62-3, the Texas Rampage over the Mesquite Falcons.
And there's that fringe we were talking about.
Johnny Cleveland, the T-shirt kind of shredded there, fringe look.
Did you catch the hat there? Did you catch the hat? The Cleveland Indians.
Johnny Cleveland, Cleveland Indians.
I'm going to say that's for his name and not for the team. Because if he's wearing that hat around town for the team, I don't think he's going to be a favorite around Texas and especially around the Arlington area.
Yeah, that's right. Postseason play is headed for Dallas-Fort Worth in baseball now.
Texas Rangers won tonight, proving that they didn't need Seattle's help. They could have won it anyway. Actually, with the reserves tonight, so.
Yeah, and at the time we're taping this, the regular season still has 1 game left, so it's basically a done deal. And by now you probably already caught some great playoff action.
And another high short kick as Jason Reed takes him down. Jason, first one there. But once again, another weak kick by the Texas Rampage, which is the only problem they're really having this year as far as field position. They've got great coverage on the ball, but their kicks just haven't been real deep. Cipriano holding his leg there for a minute.
The Texas Rampage shuttling some personnel in and out.
So here come the Mesquite Falcons with 1st and 10 on their 43-yard line.
A late addition you just saw on the screen on defense for the Texas Rampage, our man, number 78, Raymond Rush.
Here comes March on the outside, and the ball, he just throws it out of bounds. Had nowhere to go on that one, threw it to the track. And that's about the only hope they have right now is going to the air with the ball, if they have any hope at all. And if the Rampage can't afford or can avoid penalties on this drive, they can go 3 and out. So Jacques March setting up the Falcons once again. 2nd and 10. I formation behind him. And he is just clobbered.
It was Brandell Jackson, a defensive lineman out of Grambling State. Broke free straight up the middle.
Nobody touched him. Brings up 3rd down and I guess 10, or no, it's about 14 now. March back in a shotgun, which they haven't had success with this season, or this game anyway. Going back for a pass, and he throws it and is hit, and so is his receiver. Pass to Alexander Ovals, and he's pushed out of bounds, and that's going to bring up 4th down. So we'll see if the Mesquite Falcons elect to punt like they've been doing, or if they go ahead and try to go for it. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and punt back to the Rampage. Rampage have had good returns on these punts and these kickoffs. And once again, the ball goes to the sideline, but it gets a good bounce for the Falcons. And so it looks like the Rampage will set up at their 33-yard line. 77 yards to go. And we'll see if McDade comes out for this drive or not. So a lot of the starters that you see there on the sidelines enjoying this nice weather out here we have. Nice cool breeze going. Beautiful night for football. Little unnecessary roughness there.
Ball start on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
So 5 yards back the Rampage go. And a thing I just noticed here, Jacques March is actually playing offense and defense for this Mesquite Falcons team, which is very unusual, especially for a quarterback. Looks like we're going to have a penalty on the play, as the Falcons are a little bit too anxious to get on the other side of that ball.
Looks like the defensive end over on the left side there, Brian. And yeah, Jacques March has been playing pretty much both ways. And we only counted 21 players dressed tonight for the Mesquite Falcons, and 2 or 3 of those at least we've seen have gotten hurt. So
right,
a lot of the guys having to see action on both sides of the ball tonight. Just about all you can do.
And as I mentioned earlier, third quarter is about the time we'll find out how tired these players get. As we see nothing much on that play there. As Carl Davis is in, backing up McDade. So Davis is the backup quarterback, actually, for the Rampage. And there's big Ed Canty once again. Davis getting the play on the sides, from the sidelines. Third and 12. Davis under center. Drops back to pass. Wants to run. Passes anyway. And he almost throws an interception.
And ironically enough, that was his counterpart, March. It hit him right in the hands. And boy, Davis stepped up and just threw a strike.
I thought that number looked familiar. It almost looked like he was throwing it at him, trying to hit him rather than throwing it to him.
You know, it's interesting to note, Carl Davis is listed on our roster as a quarterback. We've seen him for all these games at wide receiver. He's been playing wide receiver the whole time, but listed on the roster as a quarterback, and now he's finally able to step in and see some duty at quarterback.
That's right. We haven't seen them do this all season long. So 4th and 11, and the Rampage are going to go ahead and go for it. And they brought down. So the Mesquite Falcons are going to take over with great field position as they take over at their own 27-yard, the Rampage's own 27-yard line. But I don't think the Rampage are sweating this too much, as they have built up a 62-3 lead over the Falcons.
.205 left to play, I should say, and that's still in the third quarter. Mesquite Falcons have long since broken the shutout. That decision by the Texas Rampage to go for it gives them excellent field position.
So once again, we see March under center, 1st and 10 at their own Rampage's 27-yard line. Back to pass, and he's brought down at the line of scrimmage. It was going to be a sack, but he was able to crawl up to the line of scrimmage. They may have lost a yard on that play. If not, they got back to the line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 2nd and 10.
Minute and a half to go here in the third quarter, and the clock is running.
Yes, it is. So here we go. Falcons 2nd and 10 on their 27-yard line. Call it 28. And the run by the quarterback, and he's brought down. Something we haven't seen from March is he usually hasn't been really bootlegging it and taking it himself. But that time he opted to run the ball with minimal success as he gained about 2 yards on that play.
Let's look at James Eisenberg, the head coach.
Well, he's having fun today.
Just like a head coach, though, you wouldn't be able to tell he's having fun. No smiles.
That's very true. Nothing going there for the Falcons, which has pretty much been the story all day long. So they did gain a couple of yards on that play. And that is the end of the third quarter. So with the score 62-3 in favor of the Rampage, we're going to take a break. Bring you right back for more action from Standridge Field on DCTV. So we're back at Standridge Field. Yes, sir. You got a question? No, he's just waving. Sorry. Picture of some of the fans who have stuck around through this. Back at Standridge Stadium. Brian Smith here along with Robert Eicher on the side of me as we watch the Texas Rampage take on the Mesquite Falcons in National Minor League Football. And the Falcons going for a 41-yard field goal attempt. And it is blocked. Story of the game for the Falcons right there, as the Texas Rampage will take over.
Looked like he bobbled the snap there, so it's doubtful they ever even got a kick off.
So here come the Rampage, trying to drive 62 yards down the field. Pitch to the right. He's got running room, and he's brought down at the 44-yard line. And that was Clyde Gilmore taking the pitch from Carl Davis around the side there. Gilmore showing a couple moves there. If you see him walking off the sideline, giving some high fives to his teammates. So 1st and 10 for the Rampage at their 45 at the Falcons 45-yard line. They're going to get him for offsides. I think one of the Rampage players moved to draw the Falcons offsides.
False start, number 77 on the offense, 5-yard penalty.
So we're going to take him back 5 yards to the 35-yard line, and we'll start all over from there. 1st and 15 for the Texas Rampage. Carl Davis under center once again. Going back to pass. Chased out of the pocket. He's going to run for it. Breaking to the middle of the side. Oh, he could go all the way, folks. He's breaking to the middle of the field, and he doesn't get all the blocks he needs, but he gains a good 30 yards on that play there. Nice run by Carl Davis there, showing his skills as a wide receiver, breaking it open in the open field, as well as his quarterbacking ability.
Boy, there was a great hit. I think you could see it coming across the middle there. Dwayne Hill put on number 4, Cleotis Ward. Kind of caught him from the blind side there.
So here we go, Carl Davis once again under center. Bringing it back. Pitch and a slip by Clyde Gilmore on the turf. And we've seen a lot of that. These players seem to slip a lot on this turf at Standridge Stadium. And it's not because it's wet. We can't exactly say why it is. Sometimes you just lose your footing. Shot on the sideline there. Some of the players already have their pads off, as they're not going to be playing for the rest of the game as they get rested for the next game. Carl Davis under center one more time. 2nd and 11 yards to go. Handoff is bobbled. And looks like Davis got the ball back. But they did lose a couple yards on that play. So the Rampage showing a little miscommunication here in the late quarters, possibly because they're tired or possibly because they have their backups in at the moment. Faithful fans sticking through every bit of this. Davis under center one more time. Good penetration by the Falcons, and Davis is sacked. Haven't seen much of that tonight. Davis is sacked back behind the line of scrimmage, and that's going to give the ball back over to the Falcons. As the Rampage will elect to punt this ball back to him. Pardon me, my mistake. They're going to go ahead and go for it. On 4th and 16 yards, they're going to go ahead and go for it. Davis back to pass. He launches it. And a great catch. Can't see who exactly that is right now.
And it was an almost great catch as Dwayne Hill, or beg your pardon, Ryan Wallace, tried to pull it in, but he left it there on the turf.
Wallace dropped the ball, and we have a Mesquite Falcon down on the play. That's number 22, Donald Lee, who's limping a little bit, but he seems to be okay, which is a good thing because you don't want to see these players hurt on a game like this. The Rampage celebrating on the sidelines, but they started that celebration probably early in the second quarter. As you see, Donald Lee still limping on that leg. They're going to go check it out and see how he's doing. Hopefully he's not seriously injured. The Mesquite Falcons have been burdened by injuries all game long, which is very unfortunate as they don't have a lot of players in their team in the first place. But they'll take the ball out, and they will start at their 40-yard line. 39 call it. 1st and 10. March goes with a quick handoff. Getting a couple yards on that play. So it's now 2nd down and about 8 yards to go. Some of the players of the Falcons limping to the line. Not a good sign. March under center. Drops back, flips it back, and it's a flea flicker. And the man is open, and it's almost intercepted by the Rampage.
That pass attempted by Darrell Warren, number 19, the running back. He went downfield intended for number 9, Robert Williams.
So the Falcons looking for any way to score quickly on this drive. Brings up 3rd down and 8 yards to go. And it's a run up the middle. Got the 1st down and more.
That was one of the linemen.
They've run that play a couple of times, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't been able to pick out exactly what that is. I'm not sure where he's handing that ball off. Never seen that play before. Must be some sort of trick play that the Falcons are using.
A little bit of deception there, as I think he fooled just about everybody. And it was number 60 who ended up carrying the ball, and we do not even have him on our rosters.